good one. Good morning. Welcome to my home and welcome to my heart. So what did you do with your Facebook time off yesterday? It was very interesting to read myself and see what was happening within me when I couldn't get on to. And I'd like to be able to say that I only use Facebook for business, but it's not true. It is a social connection for me. They call it social media for a reason, because I connect with people, I talk with people, we share each other's difficulties and give each other support and encouragement and love, and not so much love sometimes. But so when Facebook went down yesterday, I did miss it, and it really taught me how much I spend on it in ways that aren't necessarily productive. And so if we just understand, and if I just understand with myself, right now I'm checking out and I'm scrolling. Great. I'm going to check out and I'm going to scroll for 10 minutes. Because it is a way to kind of check out in some ways. And so it was interesting to watch myself and to kind of feel into myself as I had this taken from me, and think also, well, what happens if this doesn't ever come back? What would I do with that? What would I do with that information? And so it was an interesting journey. I don't have answers to that one yet because I do connect with my friends and my colleagues and clients and human beings on this social media platform. So it was an interesting journey. One of the things that I did discover too, which is that to do my full practice, I do like the connection of doing it with somebody, because even though perhaps there aren't a lot of people on at this time, I know that many people watch my videos later on. And so this connection is important to me. This connection of feeling you on the other side of the camera and the other side of the world. Sometimes some of my followers are in Tasmania and Australia and all kinds of places. So that's kind of cool. I do much more sitting and quiet meditation practice than I do moving meditation when I'm just practicing on my own. So those are very interesting awarenesses that I was brought to for myself with this little test of social media absence. So today I would like to encourage us, and I'm going to go through all 5 of the healing elements in the order, and with some of the instruction that comes with them. So the first part of our practice is always a bouncing and a releasing process, and I'm going to start with tapping between the eyebrows, just right about here. There we go. And you can use 2 little fingers. I usually use my first and my second finger. And we're just going to tap 9 times, and this is a releasing process. And underneath the eyes, so the eyebrows up here, these are your bladder meridians, again a cleansing process, and underneath here the eyes, I'm going to make sense here in a second, these are your stomach meridians. And I noticed that one of the things that I tried to do yesterday was notice myself and notice how my body was feeling depending on what was happening. And notice how much anxiety that I have and where that sits, and it sits in my stomach. And so yesterday when I was feeling some anxiety about something, I don't even remember what, and feeling that anxiousness in my stomach, oftentimes I would use my brain to kind of say, go away. Yesterday I listened to that stomach anxiety and just said, okay, what is it? What am I anxious about? And so this stomach anxiety here, as we tap on it, if we tap on underneath our eyes, when we're feeling the stomach anxiety, one of the things that I encourage me to do is not tap and go away, go away, go away, go away, go away, but to tap to receive, and tap and say, what is this about? What is it that I'm anxious about? Because as we understand and we receive all of what it is, then it naturally balances itself. If it needs to be coming up in a higher form because it's giving us a warning or a message of some sort, all of this is messaging. If we're supposed to, then it will increase, and then we can go, thank you for that increased message. I really appreciate it. I'm going to tap down our chest. And I'm inviting us to clap. 2, 3, 4. This awakes our heart energy. 7, 8, 9. And underneath the left armpit, this opens up the lungs and the right armpit. And let's go down the whole torso on the left side. This is waking up our lungs as well. My family has had a cold, pretty strong cold go through our home the last few days. And we've been using garlic and different natural things and to help that move through. You might hear my mom and tap down her whole body. You might hear her going into a little bit of a coughing as she works her lungs and revives them and gets them going again. But tapping I'm going to go down again and tap on the armpits again. This really opens up the lungs, and as does holding the hands up high. In our life functions these days, we very rarely, unless we're reaching for something from the cupboard, we very rarely put our hands into a full range of motion. So I encourage, especially if you're dealing with something with your lungs, to really lift your hands up above your head, to do some of that swiveling that opens up the lungs. Mom was mentioning that her ribs and her muscles are sore. Mind you, she's 90.
Do you notice I can get my hands higher than I used to?
I don't.
Used to come about here.
And now they're up higher.
I can get them higher.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So as many times during the day as you could just lift your hands and take them down, and lift your hands and take them down as long as it's comfortable. Mm-hmm. That's going to open your lungs as well and allow that freedom of movement in your lungs and allow that congestion to move.
Good.
Awesome. Thank you. So now we're going to bounce as well. And the bouncing again is releasing extra energy that's ready to be returned to the universe. Every experience we have, it brings with it some instruction. There were lots of things that we learned with us being sick. I wasn't very sick at all. I used my garlic and ivermectin to really help cleanse things through. And there was, for me, a time of building of this lung congestion and then an absolute stop and gone. It was completely gone. For me, it was like a switch flipped. And I've been sleeping on the couch to listen for Mom. And I know she said that there was a couple of times she thought that she was on the way out. So to have her back in vibrancy of health is a real big blessing. But it was interesting too to see how we were feeling and thinking about that transition, that possible transition into the next life, if that was what was going to be happening in this time period. So lots of different things to consider, lots of different things, different energy coming through, and how we receive that energy and how we process that energy is our life's journey. So as we're bouncing, we're letting go of extra energy that is now ready to return to the universe. Those energies come in, they teach us things, they bring messages, and as we receive the messages, either if we don't receive the messages, it becomes blocked in our bodies. As we receive them, it moves out and through and back to the universe. So it's this big cycle, coming in, receiving, releasing, coming in, receiving, releasing. And the bouncing process allows us to receive and release everything that's just ready to go. And we don't have to know exactly what's ready to go right now. If we bounce with the intent of sending something away, we're moving into rigidity. If we're bouncing to allow whatever's ready to go to just sink into the universe, let's let our hands float up into the air right now. If we're bouncing with the idea that we're sinking into the unconditional love of the universe, our master, whatever label, name you have for your master, if we're surrendering, so here our hands are above our head, it's a universal symbol of surrender. As we surrender to that emptiness, that oneness, that connection to the universe, that has our 100% highest good as its core intention, as we surrender to that, while we release extra energy, we can then trust that the energy that's being released is what is ready to return to the universe. We can breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth and allow our whole body to soften and receive this bouncing, releasing. And as we're buoyant through our bubbling spring, the bottom of our feet, right behind our toes, that pad of your foot, that is we call the ball of the foot, as we're buoyant with that and feel the springiness the elasticity between that bubbling earth, bubbling spring, and the earth. We're receiving from the earth in this pump. We're receiving love and energy from the earth. And swinging back and forth again like a little child, just letting it go. Trusting that the universe knows exactly what it's receiving back from us and what it's sending to us at the same time. And as we breathe in this time, continue your bounce. As you breathe out, release yourself into stillness. That transition from the bounce to the stillness, especially when I do it with an exhale, is just a magical place for me because my whole body expands. And as my body expands, I felt my hips, I was tipped forward like this. I felt my pelvis want to rotate into a natural position. I feel my arms expanding away from my body. I feel a vibration and an energy and an aura all around my hands, around my legs. It's like I'm seeing with my third eye. My eyes are closed, but it's like I'm seeing with my third eye a shimmering light surrounding and attached to my whole body. And I can see it and I can feel it. I can feel a pressure in my palms. I can feel my fingertips from about the last knuckle down. They're all tingling. Just very lightly, almost like little fairies are dancing across my fingertips. I feel as my arms expand away from my body that my whole body feels expansive. And especially in the heart area, the chest area, it feels like it's just expanding into the universe. Before I started this practice, I had felt a great heaviness today. And as I'm practicing now, that heaviness has lifted. My chin wants to drop down. The smile comes easily to my face in this moment. And this moment is exactly where we live. We don't live in the past with all its memories. We don't live in the future with all the anxieties, the possibilities. We live in the moment. We can try to live in those other dimensions, but that will cause imbalance in us. Keep bringing ourselves back to the moment, bringing our hands into the lower dantian position, our palms. That was fun. As my hands came to the lower dantian, my palms tingled even more, especially my right hand. Women, your right hand will be next to your lower dantian, your navel. Men, your left hand will be next to it. Our hands are not touching. If that doesn't feel right for you, adjust the hands until the one feels like it's in balance for you. And here we call upon the energy of our master. Your master is the entity, being, person, spirit, from whom you draw wisdom, light, knowledge, guidance. Use your own label or word or name for that being. It can also be your own inner knowing. It is a light. It is a perfect light. So here in this space, we call upon the energy of our master, and you can say something like, either out loud or in your mind, "Dear Master." And hold the image if you have an image of what your master looks like. Hold an image of you being right next to that being and feeling their energy of unconditional love pouring into you from them. My dear Master, with deep gratitude for the love and support and guidance that I have received in the past, and true gratitude for all of that I will receive in the present and in the future, I set my intention for my practice today. And now you set your intention. What is it that you would like to receive from practicing this today? My intention is to receive peace and to be able to walk in joy and to release the heaviness that I feel in the world. To receive the emotions that I will ask for in these 5 healing elements. And to become more aware as I travel about my day of how I am receiving those emotions and how I'm sharing them with other people. To lighten their loads, to bless their lives. And as we set the intention for our practice, now we give the password. I am in the universe. The universe is in my body. The universe and I combine together as one. Setting that password brings us into the unconditional love of the universe. And unconditional love is the most powerful energy in all existence. Our first movement is the moving of Yin and Yang. This is the wood element. The system in our body is the liver system. We think about the color green and everything growing. The liver system has bile in our gallbladder. It breaks down other substances and releases them. Uses what it can use, releases other substances back into the universe. As we move yin and yang, our right hand goes up and out and down, our left hand comes in and up. We have a smile on our face. Envision the trees and the wood. Envision green and the leaves.
I'm pretty green.
As we're mixing that energy, we're receiving on every in-breath the emotion of happiness. And in this moment, we can say, as we breathe in, we can say to ourselves, I am happy. Right now, I am happy. The expanding emotion of happiness dissolves the contracting emotion of anger. I am happy. With my inhale, I receive happiness. With my exhale, I release any anger that is blocked in my body. Receiving happiness as we inhale through your whole skin. Envision as you inhale the beautiful love of your master coming in through every pore of your skin, including your lungs. Inhaling happiness. Exhaling any anger that's ready to return to the universe. All of our emotions come with messages. And as we receive the messages from the emotions that are contracting us, like anger, we receive the message, we take action on the message, we release the energy. We go back to happiness. Bringing our hands to the lower dantian, feel this beautiful energy ball in your hands right now. And feel the pulsating of your palms. Feel the pressure in your palms. Our next movement is the movement of breathing of the universe. As we bend our knees and lead with our elbows and expand our hands out, we're going to feel elasticity of the energy between our hands. We're breathing in joy. As we breathe out and we compress the energy in our hands. We release any extra energy that is ready to return to the universe. We breathe in the expanding energy of joy. Take your time and breathe as slowly as you wish. Your timing might be different than mine. As we breathe out, we're breathing out any hatred, any resentment, any bitterness. We breathe it out. We're grateful for the messages that it brought to us. And we can breathe it out with love and gratitude. As we breathe in joy. As we breathe out, we release all that extra energy. Breathing in joy. As I say the words, I just want to smile, and my body automatically smiles. Master Lin calls a smile, "Start my internal love engine." And as we release ourselves into that smiling space, our whole body relaxes. Our whole body, every cell in our body is bathed in those hormones that bring in joy. All of our emotions have chemical bases to them. And so, as we breathe in joy, we bathe our body literally in those healing hormones. This is how we heal our bodies and our minds and our spirits through our meditation practice. Breathing in joy. When we breathe in joy, bring your hands back to the lower dantian and feel that energy ball again. For me, mine is shimmering white. It's opalescent. It vibrates. We're going to raise that ball. We're connecting heaven and earth here. Raise that beautiful energy ball as you raise it up. Allow your knees and hips and ankles to flex. Allow your shoulders to slide down and back. Hold that beautiful energy ball, Yin and Yang. As you breathe in, we're going to bend our knees. We breathe in the feeling of peace. This is the stomach system. We envision the color of yellow. This is our stomach and our spleen. This is where our anxiety sits and settles. So as we breathe in peace, we're releasing anxiety. This is our earth system as well. Think about the color yellow. The digestive juices are mustard yellow. As we breathe in and bend our knees, we're breathing in peace. We're connecting heaven and earth. We breathe in, we receive that peace from heaven. As we bend our knees and we feel our bubbling spring reach down into the earth, we're connecting with earth. We're breathing in peace from earth as well. It's like an accordion. Breathing in and receiving peace. Breathing out, releasing all anxiety, all tension, all anxiety and things that create blockages in us. Receiving the peace. Your hands can be as low or as high as you wish. Go for comfort. In Spring Forest Qigong, we do not push through pain barriers. We receive them, we hear them, and they release themselves when they're ready to. On this exhale, bringing our hands down to our lower dantian again. We're moving into the fourth movement. Bring your hands together. Walk your right foot out to the right. Fingertips are touching just light enough to hold a piece of paper. We're forming a heart with our hands and our fingertips at our lower dantian. As we shift our weight to the left side, we breathe in. As we shift our weight to the right side, we breathe out. This is our lung system that we're engaged with now, the color white. The contracting energy that contracts our lungs is a feeling of sadness and depression. Breathing in to the left, breathing out, releasing any sadness and depression that we might feel. Breathing in contentment. As we breathe in the energy from the universe, and we breathe in the unconditional love of the universe, we can be content. We can be content in this moment that the unconditional love of the universe is fully capable of supporting everyone on the planet. Everyone. With more and to spare. And so we don't need to think that we do not deserve love. Breathing in contentment. I have all that I need. Releasing sadness and depression. Breathing in contentment. Releasing with joy and gratitude all that extra energy that taught us so much. We've received the lesson, and now we can be content. Because the wisdom that we receive from our struggles stays with us. But the sadness and the depression can be released back to the universe. I am content. In this moment, I am completely content. All my needs in this moment are completely taken care of. This is our lung system. I am content. As you come back to the left side, walk your right foot back in. Move your hands into a prayer. Bring them up to your upper middle dantian, resting your thumbs on your sternum at your heart. Gently touching your fingers and hands together, again holding just a piece of paper there. Elbows are open. Knees are bent, hips are flexed. This is our fifth movement. It's a bowing forward. We bow to our Master in deep gratitude. This is our kidney system. Deep blue water. We're connected to all the water of the earth. Our bodies are a high percentage of water. As we feel into the water and see the blue of the oceans, and feel into our own space of gratitude. And as we bow forward, we're breathing in. I'm going to turn to the side. You're going to see I've added a small movement we call the dolphining of the neck. You reach forward ever so slightly with your chin. Envision a golf ball sized bubble settling right up here into your throat, floating you up and back, and the rib cage and the chest open and expand. I am grateful. Think of anything that comes through your mind and say it out loud. I am grateful for my body. I am grateful for knowledge. Think of the things that you are grateful for. We'll practice in silence for a bit. You are in your home. You may be as vocal as you wish. Part of being vocal and speaking things out loud is that we incorporate the vibration of the actual sound. And as we speak of our gratitude out loud, and we speak of our love out loud, and we speak of each of these emotions that we're engaging with out loud, we engage the vibration of sound. And all of the energy that we hold is vibration. Go ahead, Mom.
I'm grateful for imperfection.
Breathing in as we bend forward, breathing out as we come up.
Grateful for healing. Even at my age, I can still heal. I'm grateful.
I am grateful for my mother.
I'm grateful for my daughter.
I'm grateful for Mother Earth.
I'm grateful for both daughters.
I'm grateful for my mother in heaven.
I'm grateful for my father in heaven as well.
As we speak of our gratitude, we release the contracting energy of fear. As we engage in all 5 of these healing elements, bringing our hands together right now, harvesting our chi. We started with the energy of happiness, which released the energy of anger. Then we moved to the energy of joy, which is happiness for no apparent reason, which releases the energy of hatred. We then moved to the energy of peace, which releases the energy of anxiety. And then into the energy of contentment, which releases the energy of depression and sadness. And then into the energy of gratitude, which releases the energy of fear. As we engage and bring those into our bodies and our minds and our spirit and our soul, who knows them from infinity to infinity, we heal. Rubbing our hands, tapping the fingers in together. Now take that energy and run it on either side of your nose, up to the hairline, out and down and around. And I invite us each to say to ourselves out loud, I love you, and use your own name. I love you, Roxy.
Joni. I love you, Joni.
Feel that parent caressing your face as a newborn child. And each breath we have, we are newborn again. We can start again with each breath. We're going to massage our ears. I'll just show you. We're just going to unfold our ear a little bit all the way down and give a little gentle tug on the earlobe. We're going to massage our ears. Give that little massage 9 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Tapping the top of our head. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And tapping our eyebrows again. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And under the eyes. We're harvesting our chi now. I don't know about you, but I've got a little bit of a sweat on my upper lip. My body is warm. And now I'm going to go out into the world. So as we harvest our chi, we're kind of tucking everything in. It's like we're putting on a coat, putting on our clothing. And we're keeping in and kind of closing. We were very open to the universe. Now we're being a little bit more structured. I don't want to say closing, that's the wrong word. We're going to tap our sacrum right now. But what we're doing is more defining. I gotta find a way to explain harvesting the chi a little bit better. We're more defining and harnessing the energy, the chi, tapping our hips. I'll explain chi in a little bit, just in a moment. And down to your knees, there's 6 energy channels that come through our knees down into the earth. 7, 8, 9 in the backs of our knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the left knee. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And as we tap, we can think all of my channels are open, open, open. All the energy runs smoothly and perfectly through my body. Up on our toes and drop down to the heels. Up. Number 2, we're bringing energy up from the earth. We're tapping it in and settling it into every little spot of our body that's ready to receive the beautiful energy of the earth. Now, I've not counted. We're thinking about the number of 9. And so your intention, if you haven't been able to count, will just be a 9. That's a number of completion. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I feel I've released a lot of heaviness that was with me when I came into this practice today. So I hope that you have found some benefit as well today. I love you. Namaste. The light in me sees the light in you. I'll see you again.